Leave me here, I'm done for. Okay, cool man, take care. What? Are you really leaving me? You told me to. Well, yeah, but I expected you to be all like, no man, I'm not leaving you here. We are getting out of this place together. Well, okay, I guess. You know what? Just go. I don't want you here anymore. Back when I was in elementary and middle school, my school used to take us students to the trips a stupid amount of times. And it didn't matter if the day was actually fit for going on a trip or not, or if it was safe or not. Because honestly, some trips could have been very dangerous. Like we got lost several times, and there was that time I got stuck deep down in the snow. And I will come back to this trip later on. And then there was also one time we went on a trip to a place that seemed like a nuclear power plant. There were pipes running everywhere, and it could very possibly be radioactive. So the trips we would go on were really dangerous. But still, we will go on those trips no matter what. School trips? Yeah, more like survival tests. I think I went on over 2,000 of those so-called school trips. But I don't know, I never counted. I don't have that many fun memories of my trips, especially when I was younger. Because back then most of the time, while other people would play, I would sit alone eating my food while looking at the others while they were playing. Actually, speaking about food, the best thing about those trips is that we were allowed to take chocolate bars on the trips with us, which was honestly amazing. It almost made the trips worth it. A lot of those trips we went on were on the mountains, which was bad, and sometimes to reach our destination, we had to go on a mountain chain to reach that destination, and that was even more bad. I remember going on a mountain chain in one of those trips, and every time I was about to reach a mountaintop, I would think that we were about to reach our destination, and that we could finally rest now. But nope. The teachers will continue walking and they will tell us students that we still didn't reach our destination. Yay, we are about to reach the mountaintop. We can finally rest soon. No, this is not our destination. We have to continue walking. And then when we reach the next mountain, yay, we are finally about to reach our destination. Now we can finally rest. Nope. And this continued on and on until I finally gave up. And then when I finally reached the destination, we had to leave like 20 minutes later so we could be back home before it was dark. Now, mountain trips are already bad enough, but when it snows and the temperatures are super low, those trips become 10 times worse. Except that one time me and some classmates found a half-built igloo and took over it as if we owned it. It was cozy and super fun, but that was the only time I had fun. The only thing I thought about on the other trips was surviving. And to do so, when it's cold, you got to have a lot of clothes on. And you have to keep moving. One time I sat around and didn't do anything for several hours. But then my feet became ice cold, so I had to move. So I just walked around the camp several times until I was warm again. But my absolute worst memory of my trips is the trip where I got stuck deep down in the snow. Okay. On that trip, me and my classmates were the oldest, aka the coolest. So me and 3 other boys wanted to choose a cool place to sit for ourselves. And we decided to sit in the forest on the mountain. So we sat quite a far distance from everyone else. And when it was time to head home again, we packed our bags and I only stood up and walked a few steps. But then I stepped on a soft place in the snow and my leg immediately fell down into a snow hole. And it went almost all the way up to my hips. At first I was like, no problem, yeah, I'm stuck. After realizing I was stuck and couldn't get out, I freaked out. I mean, on the outside I was calm, but on the inside it was total chaos. And I could see that all the students and teachers have already walked away from where they were sitting, and I was left with those 3 boys on the mountain. And that just added to my stress, and the people I was with seemed ready to leave me there. Okay, actually, classmate number 1 looked slightly worried, the second was laughing at the situation, and the third, The third actually scares me the most when I think about it. He was ready to leave me there. I tried to pull my leg up, but it didn't work. Most of my leg was buried in the snow. However, the shoe wasn't tight on my foot. I felt I could slide my foot up out of my shoe and get my foot and sock out of the snow hole without my shoe. So I planned to pull up my foot as fast as I could. Then I will pick up my shoe immediately up from the snow hole. And then I will wear my shoe, obviously. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go! And at the same moment I pulled my foot from the snow hole, the snow immediately collapsed down on my shoe. No! Stop moving! I immediately went down on my knees and began to dig in the snow with my bare hands. Actually, pause here. I didn't have my gloves on. I don't know what I was thinking that morning. Like, I'm going on a trip to the mountain. There is going to be a ton of snow there. It's going to be super cold. Yet, I'm not going to take any gloves with me. Yeah, I'm a genius. In the end, I managed to dig the shoe out of the snow. But when I wore it, the laces were loosened. But I didn't care. My hands were freezing from all the digging and I couldn't really tie my shoelaces. But classmate number 1, the one that was actually somewhat worried about me, tied the shoelaces for me. That's why you are my favorite. Eventually, we went down from the mountain and went back home, and I never wanted to go up a mountain ever again in my life.
Man, I can't believe I didn't talk about the times I got a swollen foot after the trips. Actually, I will mention one. So one time after a long and awful trip, I got a swollen foot and I went back home crying. So my mom gave me a big tube of ice cream that I ate and that was so amazing. It almost made the trips worth it. And I really wanted to talk about the stories where I got lost, but not this time I guess. Make sure to like this video and share it if you enjoyed it. And subscribe so you won't miss anything new. And as always, take care.